Hi, my name is Teddie Rowe. I was in prison for 8.5 years, on parole for 3 years, because of treatment that I didn't get when I was in prison. I now have congestive heart failure. I have renal failure. I was given 2 to 3 months to live. Only 14% of my heart is working now. They said I had a silent heart attack, which is caused lots of times from neglect, people not getting treatment right for diabetes. When I was in prison, I was at Jamestown prison for 2 years, and I complained and complained and complained while I was there about having problems with my stomach, not being able to lay down anyway. And they took me in and diagnosed me with gallstones and said that I was going to have surgery, and they'd refer me to a surgeon. Well, I complained and complained and complained for the next 4 years, I guess it was, and they finally got me in, and I had my operation, and I had 30 stones in my gallbladder. And the doctor said he didn't see how I didn't have more pain and didn't have an infection because of so many stones being in it. I was transferred. Well, I was working in the kitchen, and one of the cooks that's a state employee turned around and told an inmate a lie, and I ended up stabbed. I ended up in the hole, which is ADSEG, where they lock you in 23 hours a day in a cell. I was in there for 8 months waiting to be transferred to another prison. I was then transferred to Mule Creek Prison. While at Mule Creek, I complained about us not having diabetic meals. Now, the Jewish people got their kosher food, the Muslims got their Ramadan food and that, but anybody that had a medical problem, whether it was heart, diabetes, or whatever, didn't get a special diet like these other groups did. And that's just built up to what's caused my problems. I went from just taking pills to insulin, and from 2 shots a day, now I'm up to 4 shots of insulin a day. Scott Kernan, he was associate warden and warden while I was at Mule Creek Prison. I don't see why they promoted him, because there were so many inmates dying from neglect of medical care. If you didn't have a $5 for a co-payment, lots of times you wasn't seen. They just put you aside. You couldn't buy glasses. You couldn't, and if you did have any money sent to you from your family, they took it for your co-payments. The meals, just real salty, and they just didn't care about anybody that had medical problems. I think all the prison system is out for is for the money. I also caught MRSA while I was in prison. Some people know it as MRSA, some people know it as MRSA. I don't know if I caught it in the clinic. I don't know if I caught it from the laundry, because the laundry comes back stinking and dirty because they overload to get stuff done quicker. The bathrooms aren't cleaned as often as they should. They don't offer you liners to put on the toilet, so you use your toilet paper, and then if you use too much toilet paper, then they turn around and don't want to give you another roll of toilet paper, so you have to go borrow from somebody else. It's just they just don't want to do anything for you. Also, I had gangrene of the groin. I was hospitalized for 30 days. I was in a coma for 8 days. They told my family to get together because they didn't know if I was going to live or die. I survived through it, but I still have a little bit of problems down in my groin area. I've had MRSA spots on my back twice, one on my neck, one on my stomach, one on my leg. I was hospitalized for every one of those except one. And I had to go through the treatment of antibiotics, and you can only take certain antibiotics because most antibiotics don't work on this disease. And it's not curable, it's just controllable. Just like diabetes, it's just controllable. I worked as a porter for the last 2 months that I was at Mule Creek on the graveyard shift, and I cleaned the showers and the toilets and the floors and everything. I made sure they were nice and clean. Most of the other guys, they didn't care when they were doing their shift. They just barely wiped stuff down, but didn't use no disinfectants. We didn't have disinfectants to use. They gave us water, and sometimes they give us bleach. Sometimes they just tell you, go use water and clean it. Prison is a very unclean place. MRSA that I have, or MRSA, the prison knew that I had it, and they had me cleaning and touching surfaces where other inmates would touch. Also, it spread so much through the prison. There's thousands of inmates that have this now. Staff members catch it. They work other jobs outside of the prison, and they spread this MRSA to there. They can spread it to their families. So, something needs to be done about that also.
My name's Wanda Higdon. I'm a friend of Teddie Rowe. I've known him since he was a very young boy. He met him in church. He kind of grew up with some of my children. And I would just say that he's not the same. All of this has changed him. He was always so happy-go-lucky. Could always, count on him to lift everybody up, and he's not the same. This has truly affected him and all of his family and all of his friends. I've been kind of like a second mom to him. I went to visit him, took his mother and his brother to visit him, and I could see the change. And it's just so unjust. There's no justice. And I just would like to say that they're not treated. Sometimes it's inhumane, some of the things that they go through. And I just want to see justice for all.